Colonel Srinivasan, there has been a lot of understanding. There has been a lot of, significance on career counseling and on career counselors as well. And you are now a professionally trained and a practitioner in career counseling. And you say that this is your third innings. That is something which was very interesting for me. So after your first inning, second inning, what made you particularly choose career counseling as your third innings?
Yeah, beautiful. See, I think I'm very happy you asked this question because this is exactly what one wants to do. When I left army, I didn't know actually what to do. What do you do after only knowing about radars, guns, missiles? What do you do when you come out? So the typical way most people think is that you can go into security, facility management, career paths. And I just said, why don't I go into HR? I had not done any career awareness program or anything. I just jumped into it on sheer faith. But what I realized was over the next 16 to 18 years, I enjoyed every moment of my work there. But while I was working as a senior HR professional, a lot of people used to walk up to me and say, Srini sir, काम में मजा नहीं आ रहा. And I used to wonder, why are they saying मजा नहीं आ रहा? मुझे तो बहुत मजा आ रहा है. Why are they not enjoying when I'm enjoying? I knew their salaries, I knew their position. They were, in higher grades than me, but still they were saying they were not enjoying. That is when I used to give some band-aid solutions. I remember one of the things which you said, have you given some informal guidance to career counseling? Yeah, that was a little band-aid solution. Okay. You just say, Achha, why don't you try this small certificate course in logistics? I think you should try, why don't you do a 6-month MBA course or something like that I used to give. But I was not satisfied. That is the time when I got to know about Edumilestones. I got to understand that there is a scientific way in which I could have helped them. So just before I retired, I thought I'll come to you guys, got myself certified, and now I'm able to provide scientifically validated proof that why I could have or why a particular person should go for what kind of careers. That is the reason why I felt I should start Life Compass 2020.
Awesome. I like how you look at, giving band-aid solution and then giving a scientific valid proof with solution.
Yes.
I see in your background, and of course, I also know that you have named your venture as Life Compass 2020, and I see a very beautiful logo behind with a tagline that says, helping you find your true north. I'm sure there is a story to it. Please share that with us as well. How did you come up with this name?
See, like when anyone starts, I don't have any business. When I assessed myself, business or being an entrepreneur probably was in the 17th or the 18th career cluster or something like that. However, the number one career path which was given to me was HR and career counseling.
Okay.
This I'm remembering after so many years of work when I did my self-assessment as part of the test. Yeah. But then once you start your business, you need to be visible. Everyone needs to know who you are. That old Sanskrit saying, Nahi suptasya simmasya praveshati mrigaha. A lion which is sleeping with its mouth open, no deer enters its mouth automatically. The lion has to go out and hunt. And one of the things which you probably have also spoken is a lot of marketing activity. I couldn't do much marketing activity. With my son and myself, we designed this logo. The name Life Compass comes from 3 separate things. I wanted to impact lives because now I have to plow back to society what I have done after 38 years. Compass is an instrument which we use in the army to find the magnetic north. Even if you're standing in the middle of a desert, in the middle of the night with no moon, by using your compass, at least you know which side is north. The moment you get to see north, you know which side is east, west, and south also. So you know which side I should move. So the combination of this said that I wanted to help people find direction. 2020, it was not just the year of conception, but also means good vision. I mean, a person who
Hmm.
stands at 20 feet can see what every other person at 20 feet can see. Can I
Right.
provide that kind of visibility, basic visibility? I'm not saying I'm going to give them a binocular or a telescope to see something very far, but at least see.
Mm-hmm.
That is basic awareness, which I thought Life Compass 2020 could give. That is what is the background
Super.
of my background.
Great. And I'm sure your energy totally adds to it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much.
So, I wanted to clarify this for everyone. This is something that we had clarified in the start as well, that career counseling does not require you to come from a psychology as a background. And we have Colonel Srinivasan, who's a live example, who does not come from a psychology background, rather comes from an army and an HR background. So, if we have to put qualification at one side for now, and if we focus more on the qualities,
Yeah.
so according to you, what attributes or qualities would make someone a good career counselor, which can, where we can easily identify कि अच्छा ये qualities मुझ में है, so I can become a career counselor as well.
Well, without doubt, having a psychology background will make a great difference, because when we are doing the training at that time, when people are talking about 16 personalities or the John Highland's
Hmm.
interest inventory and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain times when you can ask questions to improve your. There are two,
Right.
three things, however, without
Mm-hmm.
any psychology background, which I don't have
Mm-hmm.
presently, what I
Mm-hmm.
personally feel is before you go into the counseling, we must
Hmm.
understand the technicalities of what is being taught.
Hmm.
Unless we
Hmm.
understand what are the 16 personalities, unless we understand the interest inventory, unless we are
Hmm.
not we do not understand the Mark's learning style and what does
Hmm.
each thing mean. So we
Hmm.
need to study a little. You must become an expert at least in all this. So
Right.
one must read a lot before just jumping
Mm-hmm.
to the first counseling. The 7-day program that you gave, I know they really made me work at 58 years of age just to pass my test. So I know that is very, very important. Okay.
So one needs to have that inclination for research,
First, a little bit for your
research
own
and
self,
reading.
because nobody
Yes.
is going to suddenly believe when you say, you just imagine you are a stranger to many or all, I
Yeah.
would say. Suddenly you say, I'm
Right.
going to tell you what you have to do for the rest of your life. I don't know you.
Hmm.
I'm seeing you for the first time on video, right? But once
Right.
you explain the report, for explaining the report, you should know. And
Yeah.
I feel that is the number one thing. Secondly,
True.
empathy is one of the major things which I have found has been a major issue. Because, see, in India, carriers are still not chosen by the guys who are going to go for the carriers. It is chosen by parents,
True.
it is chosen by your friends who are as lost as you, your classmates. "Oh, तू कर नहीं रहा है क्या? एलेंस में नहीं जा रहा है क्या? Why don't you do IIT? Third,
Hmm.
your neighbors. Have you not sent your
Hmm.
child for that tuition classes? Fourth, your
Hmm.
relatives. अरे अपने घर में
Hmm.
तो सारे चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैं, हाँ, तू बच्चे को क्यों इंजीनियर बना रहे हो?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Our
Hmm.
society itself, because I thought I saw one of the question answers, why don't we use why don't we provide vocational training? And how many of us want our children to become electricians and carpenters? Because
Yeah.
dignity of labor we have not yet, our culture has not yet learned, huh?
Hmm.
However,
Hmm.
we are
Hmm.
not. I'm sorry if I have digressed. Our idea is to talk about careers which most agree that this is
Hmm.
the way in which we want to send our child to. Okay.
Right.
So
Right.
for that, we need all the support that we are talking about. The assessment
Correct.
helps, and then when you are explaining this with proper
Hmm.
understanding of the report, automatically
Hmm.
parents start changing their mind too. Many times it
Hmm.
is to change the parents' mind. The career counseling is more important. The child knows, but the parents are not ready. The
Right.
child wants to be a copywriter or an editor. They want to study arts and they want to send them to engineering. Especially in Bangalore, everyone wants to be an IT engineer. It's really surprising.
Hmm.
I must have got at least
Hmm.
10 of them who have come to me in the last 1 month.
Okay.
So I think these are things which I feel are very important as a career counselor, that you
Right,
understand your subject first,
right.
empathize with the parents and the children to understand what are
True,
their requirements, and then when you analyze and explain the things in a proper manner, you can
true.
help them really.
Absolutely. I think I second you when you say that having the inclination for research, for reading, having the right empathy again is very important. Also, just to add, I feel your own interest into actually helping someone make an informed career decision is equally important, because no amount of training is going to inject that interest in you. That is your contribution to that particular industry or the work that you're doing. Rest, knowledge and skills can always be acquired and developed, but the attitude, the interest is what you bring to the field. So identifying your interest to become a career counselor and to be able to help someone also becomes equally important, isn't
Totally
it?
with you. Totally with you, Fatima. It is not a. It is not like that. Everyone can become a pilot, or everyone can become an army officer, or everyone can become a doctor. I don't say everyone can become a career
Correct.
counselor. Okay, you should have it in you
Right.
that you want to help out. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So since you figured and you identified in you that yes, I can become a career counselor, and it's been around 2 to 3 years of your journey into this space. Have you seen any significant change between when you started and the time right now that we're talking about?
100%.
2020 and 2023.
100%. What has happened is, thanks to COVID, that is, I think, one of the positivities of COVID is everything became online. The moment
Mm-hmm.
everything became online, everyone was online.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Automatically, the new age carriers have sprouted in numbers.
Okay.
Dude, everyone is talking about AI and ML, artificial
Mm-hmm.
intelligence, machine learning, robotics. I mean, everyone wants to talk about it. Where was it two
Mm-hmm.
years back? No, it was not. Though it was part of our report, no doubt about it, but people were not asking about it.
Right.
Today, everything is about digital marketing, from normal, literally, how do you call it, brick and mortar marketing to digital marketing is a major shift, which I'm noticing.
Right. Right.
The more important part is parents have realized that they themselves know very few career paths for their children.
So that
But
awareness is
they
there
are,
now.
the awareness is increasing in leaps and bounds. And when they
Right.
see, they also feel that they must at least find out from an expert. This requirement of expert solution, like if I have got my car to be repaired, I take it to an expert mechanic. If I'm
True.
unwell, I go to an expert, a doctor. But if I want to go for a career for the next 35 years, I go to Google. That has changed. They go to an
Right.
expert, they go to a career counselor, they search for
True.
it. But are you there? Are you visible? Have you done your work? It makes a big difference.
Very, very true. Very true. And I think it's good that we have come to a stage where parents feel that I might be an expert at understanding my child, but when it comes to my child's career, it's better I put it in hands of an expert. Otherwise, there is a potential destruction that they can contribute to.
100%.
True, true. Great. So, your your journey as a career counselor, how that has changed you as a person, and also your journey and relationship with Edumilestones. It's been more than 2 years. So, what is it that you would have to say about that journey as a career counselor and the association with Edumilestones?
I'll take it in two parts. The first part is more
Yeah.
interesting because uh, this journey has made sure that I remain young. Because now I'm talking to 14 to 16-year olds every second day, third day. So
Mm-hmm.
automatically, to keep their interest alive, I have to keep
Mm-hmm.
myself abreast of what is the goings on in
Right.
the world, right? So I learn
Right.
about new age carriers. So imagine, for a continuous learner, this is what I remain, a continuous learner. So I continue to
Right.
learn. I talk to young people, so I remain young. That is a major change which I have
Right.
found myself. Obviously,
Good.
every time I get a good review, every time somebody calls me back and says, my child is so happy, we are so relieved, it gives me a lot of inner satisfaction as a person. These are two things which I can tell you without, and this cannot be explained by in words at all. Okay. The second part is, as far as Edumilestones are concerned, very frankly, it looks as if I know all of you without having met any of you ever. I think I know all of you. I have met Vipin once, I remember, but other than that, for example, nowadays, as I keep increasing the number of counseling, referrals have started coming. I'm giving you what all Edumilestones
Very
has.
important.
In the last 2.5 years, 2 years something, I've got 87 referrals, okay, which have come to
Wow.
my inbox. Yesterday I got two, including IIT, IIM engineer who has said what I'm doing is not fun. So I've started counseling
Uh-huh.
professionals over. It's amazing, right? Now these referrals, the conversion is my job. The conversion is not Edumilestone's job. They are providing the referral, which is huge. If 87, even if I convert 20%, is about 18 to 20.
Mhm.
20 counselings, you can multiply with whatever fees you want to think that one I earn,
Right.
which is coming to me on my own. Secondly, your
Right.
operations team has been always been super good. I think Shiju, I can't keep talking about her every time, along with her team. Any whenever the system suddenly doesn't work, the assessment doesn't probably there is a hang, it hangs in some students, the parent immediately pings, and all I need is to send a message to your ops team and they are able to help me put the things right. They're
Right.
very minor things. There are a lot of things where I found something different in the report I could write and I could do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always love reading Vipin's LinkedIn messages, which come every month or every week on
Right.
LinkedIn.
Every week.
What
Right.
happens is many of the things I think I know, but the moment I read his thing, I realize that I don't know. Okay, so many things I don't know. So for me, Vipin's LinkedIn post every week on, it is the voice of Vipin. I'll never forget. I get to know. I love, talking to Radha ma'am, who's been my instructor. Whenever I'm stuck with a very difficult report, whenever,
Hmm.
there are times when I feel that I don't think I can assess the report fully. I think there's so much more. All I do is pick up a call and I get it answered as if I have all your numbers on my mobile. That is what tells me that you're so available or approachable. That is the other thing which I always find. And,
Thank you.
and
Great.
of course, I always talk to you. So for
Yes.
codes or issues and anything to do with marketing. So according to me, Edumilestones has been my my back end. When I look over my shoulder, I've got Edumilestones on my back, and it has helped me do my. And being a third innings, as I said, it is not that I'm doing it as a full-fledged business, that is morning and night I'm doing it, right? Though I'm doing a
Mm-hmm.
lot of counselings, but there may be people here in the audience. There are nearly 335 people who may be much younger than me, who may need this
Mm-hmm.
as a full-time role. They may have to work much harder than what I do, but the response from Edumilestones will always be there. That I am very sure. This is what I feel.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I think those are very, very humbling words. And, it's a fact that though it's been 2.5 years into the association with Colonel Saab, this is actually the first time we are meeting face to face. Otherwise, the virtual relationship itself has been so strong, and he has been equally reciprocative as well. And that's how, the whole relationship has also blossomed. So thank you so much for that feedback. Before I let you go, one very important question, which I feel will be very important for the audience. There are a lot of us in the audience who are also aspiring to be you, who are aspiring to become a career counselor. Since from the time you have started your journey in career counseling, what would be your one advice for them, which they should keep in mind, which will help them, or something that they need not do?
Uh,
One do or don't from your side.
One do is, unless you are really interested in helping people. If I see it as a business, I don't think I can work. if I see that I am going to make a difference in one life every time I do a
Mhm.
counseling, I think it will
Mhm.
keep you going day in, day out. I always feel that I made a difference to one life by pointing them in the right direction. Because I
I
see
second you
so
on that.
many of them lost for years on one direction, and then they
Mhm.
come at a crossroads, and then they approach us. And then it is so difficult,
True.
to help them with the right kind of advice at that time. So the
True.
earlier the better
True.
is what I feel. They would be really.
Absolutely. Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much for spending that time. But, we just won't let you go right now. We would love to have you stay back because there are Q&A also.
Wow,
And we would love to hear your voice of Lieutenant Colonel Srinivasan during the Q&As as well.
definitely.
All right. But for now, thank you so much for your time. We will take a short pause and we look forward to having you back with us.
Thank you,
Thank
Fatima.
you so much for that interaction. It was lovely as always.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Chalo, take care.